everyone, welcome back to AndyDemos, and you just heard the new hand-wired Vox AC4, and this one's got some new tricks up its sleeve. This one was announced in 2024 at NAMM, and now they're starting to roll out. We've got an effects loop, we've got a really powerful master volume, and of course we have the ability to crank up and get those classic Vox tones, or back things off and use it as a really nice pedal platform, even at 4 watts. So let's check it out. At the core of this 4-watt combo is a single-ended all-tube design with aesthetics that go back to Vox's top boost copper panel amps. Updates include a revisited power supply and output transformer to bring it even closer to the vibe of those legendary AC30s. The hand-wired circuit isn't just about vintage mojo, it also makes it an easier amp to work on, while the 12-inch Celestion Greenback speaker delivers that unmistakable British mid-range bark and chime, even at lower volumes. A pair of 12X7s or ECC83s in the preamp and one EL84 power tube provides immediate jangle and saturation, perfect for home or studio use. But nothing's really stopping you from taking this one to the stage, especially when you swap the 112 for an external speaker cap. You also get a genuine spring reverb tank, which really helps this combo seem larger than life. Plus an effects loop so your modulation and delay pedals stay clear even when this 4-watter is giving its all. Alternatively, you could use the low input to transform this juicy little combo into a high headroom platform that's ready to accept your pedal board without sacrificing its signature UK voicing. Look for it as part of the next generation of hand-wired combos at voxamps.com. Let's start off with a pretty classic Vox clean tone here. I've cranked up the master volume because it is only 4 watts. And we have the volume set around 9 o'clock, and this is before we really start to hear that breakup. And the nice thing about these low gain settings is that you could crank up the bass and it's not going to flub out, especially with 4 watts going into a 25 watt speaker. Alright, so that's just spanky clean, and that's still on the high input. So let's go the other way and just crank up the volume, keeping that master up, and see what kind of natural overdrive we get out of the AC4. So that's one extreme to the other. So let's find a nice middle ground, a sweet spot where we could just dig in and get a little bit of breakup, but it's not really going to be, a saturated sound here. So this is a perfect opportunity to use the AC4 at this setting with an overdrive. So I've grabbed a pretty standard screamer style overdrive, the EQD Plumes, and we're going to try it just at that 11 o'clock setting without the pedal, and then switch to a setting where you could really hear the overdrive blending seamlessly with the natural overdrive of the AC4. Let's try one of my favorite settings on the AC4, and it's probably the easiest one, just pretty much every knob at noon, the volume, bass, and treble. And then I have the master cranked, of course, and just a little bit of reverb to taste. And we're just getting a nice smooth lead sound here. It's not over the top, and if you just kind of wanted to push it further, you could use something like an overdrive, or in this case, I'm just using a clean boost setting to just kind of take it over the top. Now let's transform the AC4 into a high headroom pedal platform, and this is easily done just by plugging into the low input. And I'm just going to be showing a couple different pedals going into this clean setup, one being the Brothers AM in the treble booster setting, and I have the flashback delay set up to a nice tape echo sound, and this is all going, before, not in the effects loop. Of course, you could run your delays and reverbs in the back, but I tend to find that the interaction with the tube overdrive and the tube preamp is a really beautiful thing, especially if you're going for an analog style delay. Well, there's your look at the new hand-wired AC4. Just a really versatile 4-watt amplifier, still pushing a classic Greenback speaker, and you could use it clean or you could use it cranked up, just like a classic Vox amp should. And it just takes pedals like a champ, as you just heard. You can find out more about this and the other hand-wired Vox amps at voxamps.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on AndyDemos.